Hi there. So, real quick before this episode begins, we have two little tidbits of news. One is the podcast is now officially on Spotify and iTunes, so it's now 3 times easier to listen to us. And secondly, we are on Patreon. And at the beginning of every episode, we thank all of our patrons. As of right now, we have one. Shout out to Kevin. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, you can go to patreon.com/pastime. All right, here's the episode. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Passtime Thinker podcast. I'm your host, Frederick Piquet, and today I'm talking with Annie Manuel. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good, just trying out this take 2.
Are we?
Yeah.
What do you mean recording for the second time? I've never been here before.
Oh, yeah. We tried for like 5 minutes and my mic completely crapped out on me. But good thing we didn't talk about anything super, like, deep or anything. Like, we didn't really waste much, I guess.
No, we also totally didn't talk about killing a man in
Oh,
New
no.
Mexico 7 years ago. So
No, did not happen.
no,
Did
never
not
happened. Who
happen.
said that? What?
So, you're into the whole craze of astrology.
How dare you call it a craze?
It is a
Absolutely,
craze.
I am.
It is a craze.
It's a passion
Yeah.
of mine, yes, and other people.
Is it a passion as in you're interested in it, or do you full-heartedly believe in it?
Both, honestly. I'm interested in it because I just love learning about people. Like, that's why I did my psych degree. Like, I just love learning about people and different ways to learn about people. So
Yeah.
it's a way to learn about people, and also I believe in it because, like, here's my reasoning. Okay, here's some science for you.
Oh, okay.
The moon,
Yeah.
okay, affects the push and pull of water. It affects tides. It affects the oceans. So
And
I
people
need to.
are made up of mostly water.
And this is what I'm saying. So obviously, if the moon affects water and we are water, the moon affects us. So other planets obviously affect us.
Obviously affect us.
That's what I'm saying. It's obvious.
It's obvious.
Thank you for agreeing with me. Yeah. Well, because so the one thing I will say too, before we get too into like astrology stuff and I completely forget about it, is that a lot of people are like, astrology is like, it's such a lie, it's such a scam, because like whatever horoscopes say can apply to anybody. They're just so like they're so broad and generic and whatever, which that's fair, but you also have to understand that there's only 12 signs and there's how many billions of people on the planet. Like, yeah, it's going to apply to a lot of people.
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't know. It does, like, again, I'm interested in it, of course. Like, I definitely find it really cool and really interesting, but I don't believe it has much factual integrity, if you may.
I mean, there's it's not like there's science to support it or to disprove it or anything.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, there's no science to disprove it.
Yeah.
But, you know, like they exist, like planets exist in the universe. The stars exist in the universe. Everything exists in the universe. And I don't know, I kind of want to believe that there's this like James Cameron Avatar, like everything is connected, everything affects everything type thing. So
yeah. So it's, I don't want to go too far. Well, would it be considered like a spiritual belief? Or is it just memes? Is it just a big meme?
How dare you? How dare you insinuate that it's just memes? Yes, I have a lot of memes, but no, like I don't necessarily subscribe to any sort of like, I don't even know what to call it, like foundational beliefs, I guess, like things that I base actions and choices on.
Yeah, and I know that about you, which I find it odd as to like how like just deep you are into this whole astrology thing.
Well, I think it's because it's not like I'm sitting here reading a 2,000-year-old book and being like, yes, good, I believe this wholeheartedly. But, and like, not to, I'm not trying to, shit on any religions or anything.
Oh, you could do that. You could do that if you want.
I'm not trying to, though. I'm not that. Listen, it don't be like that. People believe in whatever they believe in, right? People believe in what makes sense to them. People believe in like what they can connect with, and there are some people that connect with Christianity, some people connect with vegetarianism, some people connect with flying spaghetti monsters. At the end of the day, I connect with planets. Fight me.
Okay. So the thing with planets too is that there's 12 signs, but there's less than 12 planets in our solar system. So how does that coincide?
So the signs themselves aren't based on the planets. The signs themselves are just based on the like phases of the year, I guess, the seasons of the year.
Okay.
Um, where the planets come into play is your sun. So your sun sign is your star sign that everybody knows. It's kind of like you as a person. Your
So
moon sign,
so for me that'd be Taurus.
yes, your sun sign is a Taurus.
Okay.
Your moon sign is so where your sun sign is you like as a person as a whole, like your personality, I guess.
Yeah.
Your moon sign is you privately, like you when you're alone, you and your
Okay.
thoughts, you and your emotions.
And those are those the
Um,
same signs or is those a different set of signs?
no, it's all different signs. So your sun sign is Taurus. So like I'll explain with me because I don't know your chart
Okay.
because I've never done your chart. But I know my chart, so I'll do my chart.
Okay.
So my sun sign is Sagittarius, and so as my personality as a person, Sagittarius is a fire sign. So fire signs are driven by passion and like gut instinct, I guess. Which is why when I'm drunk, I take my shoes off and I run. You know, that sort of thing.
I've seen it.
Um, you have with your own two eyes. Didn't pick up my shoes though, jerk.
No.
Um, but so as a fire sign, Sagittarius are driven by passion in the sense of like adventure seeking and philosophy. Super interested. Like that would be where my interest in learning about people comes into play. We're very open minded as people. And then my moon sign is Taurus. Funny enough.
That's me.
Yes, you. What that means is that I know feelings and I know emotions exist. I don't know what to do with them.
Oh.
I don't know how they work because so Taurus is an earth sign, right? And my moon sign, which is the position that deals with emotions and feelings and inner thoughts. My moon sign is a Taurus. So earth signs are typically driven by um, ambition, loyalty, that sort of thing. So that it's not a
Yo.
lot to do with thinking. It's not a lot to do with processing. It's just a lot to do with like, I know I need to do this right now, so I'm
Would
going to
you
do
say
this.
that they're more like morality driven?
It could be. It's whatever you as a Taurus um dedicate yourself to, I guess. If morality is really important to you, then yeah, absolutely, you're going to be driven by your morality 100%. Tauruses will still do things that are morally wrong
Yeah.
if they think it's in their
No,
interest.
all Tauruses are saints.
So Tauruses are also stubborn.
Yeah. No. So yeah, wait, before you get into the Tauruses,
Yes,
can
yes,
I
yes.
tell you everything I know about my sign? Because it's like
Sure.
four things. Like
Perfect. I'll count on one hand.
one, yeah, I've always heard that Tauruses are stubborn.
Uh-huh.
I've also heard that apparently they're like supposed to be really connected to nature,
Okay.
and that basically the only two things they care about in life is food and sleep.
Yeah, essentially. So earth signs. So the earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Earth
Okay.
signs are also very they're creatures of comfort, right? They have their surrounding and they're not always trying to push that to make it bigger. They're not always trying to look for new things. They're not always trying to whatever. That's where like the only caring about food and sleep thing comes in.
Okay.
You don't necessarily care about traveling the world. Like of course maybe you want to, but like it's not like this burning and like desire and need
Yeah.
to leave.
Like I
You don't
enjoy travel,
yeah, but
but
you don't feel like I have to travel. I need to
yeah,
leave.
like my objective is never like when's the next time I'm going on a trip.
Exactly. Whereas fire signs are always looking for the next thing.
Okay.
Um, you're also not going to wallow in your emotions. You don't really do things based on emotion.
Don't need to
Be,
wallow in emotions if you just suppress them.
so you're a Taurus. Yes. um, because that's what water signs do. So the water signs are Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Water signs, they don't like the stereotype is that they cry all the time, but it's just because they're very in tune with their emotions. They understand their emotions.
Wait,
They
sorry.
work.
Did you say
Mm,
Cancer?
yes.
Okay. I have one of my brothers is a Cancer, and he was definitely known to be a crybaby growing up.
Yeah, and that's just it. They're very connected to their emotions, right? That's what water signs are.
Yeah.
They also make amazing friends, by the way. I'm not trying to shit on water signs. They make amazing friends because they're so easy, like they're so easy to talk to. They're really easy to communicate with. Like Sky, for instance.
Yeah.
From Seneca, Sky is a
Yeah.
Cancer.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and she's,
One of my many siblings are a Cancer.
one of your
And
many siblings.
one of my many siblings.
Have you told your podcast how many siblings you have?
I don't know. I don't have a particular memory of bringing it up. I'm the second oldest of 7 kids, for anyone who doesn't know.
Shout out, Kevin. And then air signs. So Aquarius, Libra, and pick one. Why am I blanking? Aquarius, Libra,
Capricorn?
and no, that's an Earth sign. What's the air sign? Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Jesus.
Gemini. Okay.
Millions of Geminis that we know.
Yeah, my mom's a Gemini.
So is Bryson, Drake, Jenna, Alex.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, you almost.
Me, yeah, because I'm like my mom.
Like 10 days off.
Yeah, like I'm a Taurus. My mom is a Gemini, and our birthdays are only 10 days apart.
Yeah, exactly. So air signs are typically driven by thought and thinking and rationality and logic.
100% my mom.
And Jill.
And Jill. Yeah, Jill is an Aquarius.
She is, and that's an air sign. But that's why I think air signs don't make sense to me, is because I'm a fire sign, and so I'm 100% of the time like trying to do dumb stuff and not think it through, because I'm just driven by my gut.
Yeah.
Whereas air signs are like, let's think about this for a second.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, as far as I know, like, yeah, like my mom and my fiance are air signs, and like that pretty well sums them both up.
Yeah, like, well, and that's just it too, right? Like that's just your sun sign. That's just kind of like a general sort of idea. And then even within the elements, right? Like there's different modalities, is what they're called. I'm gonna throw a whole lot of words at you because I know them.
As long as you explain them thoroughly, because even I don't know the majority of what you're talking about, so I'm sure a lot of the listeners don't as well.
Just as like a fun little like behind the scenes tidbit for your listeners, before we started recording, Fred was freaking out because he's like, I can't interview you. I know you. We live together. I know you.
Yeah.
So found something that you don't know.
I mean, I can't interview in terms of like, yeah, I can't interview in terms of like, so what do you do?
You don't know what I do? Wow, I'm hanging up.
That's what I mean. I can't do that.
So within the elements, there are modalities. So there's the cardinal, the fixed, and the mutable. So cardinal is, you can think of it as like the older sibling of the element. So they sort of like introduce a new season, like a new change. But so that just kind of means that they're very like, they're not aggressive, but they're also not really passive. They're like, they're comfortable. They're rounded in their element, right?
Okay.
Who's a cardinal? Hang on. Cardinal signs. Cardinal signs. Okay, so like for instance, Cancer is the cardinal sign of the water signs.
So it's like the most water sign.
Not necessarily. It's just it's very comfortable in its water sign. So like it has its emotions, it uses its emotions, it works through its emotions, but it doesn't go overboard with them, and it doesn't try to ignore them.
Oh, okay.
It's rounded. It flows very well. Okay. And then there's the mutable of the signs. So the mutable water sign is Pisces. Mutable signs can kind of like they're the middle sibling. They can turn it off. They're okay. I don't want to say people pleasers, but they're people pleasers. Like they can read a room, and exactly, like they can read a room and they can be like, okay, I have my emotions. I know what my emotions are doing. I shouldn't be using them right now.
Okay.
And then there's the fixed. So the fixed is the most aggressive. They're the younger sibling of the modalities. So they're the most aggressive, the most ingrained, which is why Scorpios are the fixed water sign, and they have such a bad rap.
Okay.
In the astrology world, because they're so aggressively water signs, everything is emotional to them. Everything ties back to emotions. They respond with emotion immediately. They react with it. They don't put any thought through it. They're like so aggressively water sign.
Okay, I don't think I know any Scorpios. I'm sure one of my siblings are.
Scorpio is October 22nd to November 21st.
Okay.
Oh, Noah.
Noah?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the guys we went to college with, Noah. Shout out Kevin.
Shout
I
out.
know, because Noah doesn't support you. Noah is a Scorpio.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say that the boy is emotional, but to be fair, I don't know what his moon and his rising are. So, okay. So
is it possible that both your sun and moon sign are the same sign?
Yes.
Okay.
It's possible to have all three the same. It's
Three.
possible to have.
There's a third?
Oh, honey, there's 9.
Wow.
There's 1 for each planet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where the planets come in.
Okay. That sounds like a lot to keep track of.
It is, which is why I don't know much about. So there's your main 3 are your sun, your moon, and your rising.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about the rest of them. So you got like your Mars, your Neptune, your Venus, whatever. The only one that I do know, because you can kind of relate it for most of them, you can relate it back to like the old gods. So Mars is
Aries,
like rage and aggression.
Yeah,
kind
god of war.
Yeah, exactly. So it's you when you're fired up.
Yeah, Mars is the Roman god of war.
Exactly. Venus is love and relationships.
Yeah, goddess of beauty.
Yeah, exactly, right? So you can kind of relate it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know much about the signs in those positions, so I just stick to the main 3.
Yeah, because doesn't it? So like, there's the day you were born and like the time of day you were born are the important
and where you
ones.
were born on the planet.
Does that mean
as well?
Does that mean country or like topography or
city?
City.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm concerned for myself.
Do you want me to do your chart? You want me to do your sun, moon, and rising?
Off the podcast, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And we can have you come back and explain it.
Oh yeah, just talk shit the whole time. Hell
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to me.
Oh yeah, I definitely I'm gonna completely concede that I'm being a fucking hypocrite right now because I'm super critical of astrology, but if you tell me your Hogwarts house, I hold that to the highest standard.
Do your listeners know what your Hogwarts house is?
It's Ravenclaw.
It's not.
It's Ravenclaw.
It's Hufflepuff. We did the test. He's a Hufflepuff.
No, my hybrid house is Huffleclaw, but my primary house is Ravenclaw.
So when we did the test in the library, and all like 7 of us got Ravenclaw, and then you did yours, and I got Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
I'll
have you know, I've done the Pottermore quiz a total of 4 times now. The first 2 times I ever did it, I got Ravenclaw. The 3rd time I ever did it, I got Slytherin. And then the 4th time with you, I got Hufflepuff.
Yeah, because you grow and change and develop as a person, so your answers change, which means at your stage in your life right now, you're a Hufflepuff, darling.
Yeah, but according to Harry Potter, whichever house you get at the age of 11 is your house for life. So for me, it is Ravenclaw, because at 11 is when you get sorted.
So when you were 11, you would have gone upside down. They would have put the hat on your head, and you would have been like, not Hufflepuff, not Hufflepuff, not Hufflepuff.
Ravenclaw.
Yeah. Harry.
Yeah.
You trash.
I think of the 3, so like, I guess I know for a fact I'm not even a little Gryffindor, but I'm...
You, the good guy? What?
I think I was most offended by the Slytherin one, though. I'd rather be a Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff over Slytherin.
Are you kidding? You're ambitious as hell.
Am I?
You're literally running a podcast.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to all 7 of y'all listening right now.
Shout out Kevin. God bless Kevin.
Oh, yeah. God bless Kevin.
But anyway, you're a Hufflepuff. That's the end of that.
I'm a Ravenclaw.
So what's going to happen is when you post this, I'm going to send it to everybody in the group chat individually. So they all listen to it.
Yeah.
And then they can all confirm that you are in fact a Hufflepuff.
No, I am not denying.
Listening,
I am not denying.
If listening wants proof, hit me up and I will send you a screenshot of everybody else confirming that he's a Hufflepuff.
So I'm not denying that I got Hufflepuff when I did the quiz that time. What I'm saying Yeah, most recently Hufflepuff. But what I'm saying is, when I took the quiz at the time that I should have been sorted if the Harry Potter world was real, I got Ravenclaw. Therefore, I'm a Ravenclaw.
See, it's funny that there's nobody that was there to confirm or deny it.
I
It's
don't
funny how
care.
that happens, isn't it?
I don't care.
Sure you don't. You were so mad that day though when you got
I
Hufflepuff.
was.
You were so offended.
Because I was like, oh, I know, I'm a Ravenclaw. Boom, boom. Except for that one time I got Slytherin, but that's 1 out of 3. What's the chances that I would not get Ravenclaw? And then I got Hufflepuff, which again, I'm not knocking Hufflepuff. I just don't identify as a Hufflepuff. Like
I don't
Hufflepuff,
see you as a Hufflepuff either, which is funny.
that's what I mean. I don't see myself as a Hufflepuff. Like, I love Hufflepuffs. I have some really close friends who are Hufflepuffs, but I am not a Hufflepuff. Back to
You doing a bit here,
astrology.
Fred? You doing a bit here, Fred?
Back to astrology.
You trash.
Because I could go on about this forever.
About how mad you are?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah,
We can talk about that because I like when you're mad. But anyway.
we could talk about when I'm mad.
No, I said we could talk about that because I like when you're mad because it means you're
Oh,
unhappy.
yeah. Is that a
Can I be
story?
nicer to you on your podcast?
I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I'm just spreading the word of how horrible a person you are.
Spreading the word of whore.
Yeah, yep.
That's what you said first.
Yeah, sure.
Would have landed a lot better if you gotten it out right the first time, Frederick.
Yeah, that seems to be a running trend.
Yeah.
When I think of disses, they're usually golden, but it's just the execution that I
It's
stumble.
actually spitting them out.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Well, I'm
Which is
sure.
a funny problem for an actor to have.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So back to astrology.
Right. That's where we were.
So do you actually like make choices in your life in terms of like relationships with other people and like friendships and interactions and stuff like that based off people's signs?
Um,
Like if you find out someone is whatever, like a Capricorn, do you immediately go like, "Oh, that's someone that like I should be friends with," or like, "Oh, that's someone that I probably shouldn't enter these circumstances with," or is that just secondary?
it's kind of secondary. It's more like, so I was talking to a girl at work about this the other day, and it's more like I meet somebody, I get to know them,
Yeah.
not in like a very personal, very like deep kind of way. I get to know them surface socially.
Okay.
And then the energy I get off of that, I then learn their sign. And then it's like, okay, I know, like if I learn that they're a Capricorn, then I learn like, okay, I know what kind of a Capricorn you are.
Yeah.
And then from there I will. So it's like I get a read of their like their energy first. I get a read of if they're hostile or they're friendly or they're lazy or they're whatever, like especially as it pertains to work. And then when I learn their star sign, I'm like, oh, okay, you're a Capricorn. Oh, you're a very nitpicky, very neurotic Capricorn. Okay, got it. I know how to talk to you now. Like I know that that if there's something going on that I should be helping you make sure that everything is perfect kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean? Like I learned how to conduct myself. I don't treat them a certain way, but I conduct myself a certain way.
Okay. Like is that a thing too? Like is there like subsects of each astrological sign? Like
Well, yeah, there absolutely is because I mean things vary greatly based on like what degree you are in that sign. So the later it is in the season, it'll change the degree. Because so think of your star chart as just a circle divided
mhm.
into 12 sections.
Okay.
So the later in the season it is, the farther it is into that section. So if you're like 2 degrees Capricorn, then I know that you're probably closer to Sagittarius because you're not that
Okay.
late into the season.
I think
Whereas,
yeah, I've heard about that stuff too. Especially that
yeah,
video I sent you the other day.
yeah, yeah, it definitely like there are different attitudes within the signs. Like there are Capricorns that are closer to Sagittarius, so they're more relaxed. But then there are Capricorns that are closer to Aquarius that are like very detail oriented, very nitpicky, very
Mhm.
like they need to be like type A personality kind of thing because they're closer to Aquarius, which is an air sign, which is logic and rationality. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah,
So how true to my astrological sign do you think I am? And how true to yours do you think you are?
extremely for both.
Really? I'm
Yeah,
very Taurus.
you are stubborn as hell.
No.
Yeah, okay. We did great. You're stubborn as hell. You're also hardworking when you care about something. If you don't care about something, you have zero interest in it. You will not even feign interest in it.
That is an extremely accurate thing.
It
Because,
is. I've known you
yeah,
for a few years now, honey.
yeah.
Um,
You'll only get the slightest bit of effort out of me if it's something that I'm actually interested in.
Not even that. You will take any opportunity just to leave if you're not interested. If you have zero interest in what's going on, like when we were at school, if somebody else was rehearsing a scene and it
Yeah.
was like not somebody like in our friend group, I'm not going to name no names. If it wasn't anybody, if it was somebody that wasn't really in our friend group, then you would like, and like we were allowed to leave, mind you, you were respectful.
Yeah.
If you were allowed to leave, you're gone.
Yeah.
You're out in the hallway. You're fucking around with whoever's in the hallway.
But mind you, if it was you or if it was Bryson or
Exactly, and
like,
that's another Taurus thing though, because that's loyalty.
yeah, okay.
You know.
And then what about you? Like, how well do
So
you resonate with your sign?
a lot. Sagittariuses are stereotypically like 3-year-olds. Like we're very excitable. We're energetic. We're you know, adventure seeking, not necessarily in the sense of like getting on an airplane and going somewhere, but like I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, I'm gonna repaint my room and just
Okay, we're gonna have to take a small break, not only because my microphone shut off again, but it's time to give you the ad reel. So this episode is brought to you by Brotherhood MFG. It is a clothing brand centered around car culture with a fresh style. They've even given us a special discount code to give to you guys. So if you go to teespring.com/stores/brotherhood MFG and use discount code Passtime in all caps, you'll get a 13% discount off the entire store. Thanks again for sponsoring this episode, and back to Annie. All right, and we're back from that ad break that my microphone decided we were doing when it decided to shit out. So yeah, we were talking about your astrological sign and how it
what
encompasses you.
what did your microphone shit out?
Nothing. That was the
You
problem.
yeah. I was just basically it's Sagittarius is in astrology. Sagittarius are 3-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
We're energetically like, and not that we're stupid or immature or anything. It's just like, yeah, like the easiest way to describe it is little kids, right? Like how
Yeah.
blunt they are. Like they'll ask a pregnant lady why she's fat.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you find yourself
it's just
doing that?
asking pregnant ladies why they're fat.
Yeah.
No, but I've definitely like I definitely, not frequently, but I've quite a few times I've insulted people without realizing, or I've offended somebody without realizing, just because of it kind of stems from being inquisitive, right? Like
Yeah.
we're Sagittariuses are always like trying to learn. We're always trying to find out more about things, just to learn things, just to explore.
Yeah.
Um, they're like kind of like baby philosophers. So some like
Baby
very often,
philosophers.
yeah. Because if you're talking about all the signs, Aquarius would be a philosopher because they're very free spirited, open minded, but they're also asking a lot of questions. But Sagittarius is like baby philosophers. Like
Okay.
we're asking questions, but they're not necessarily the right questions, just because we don't know, right?
Yeah.
So I've definitely asked people questions that have offended them, but it's genuinely just out of interest. It's just out
Okay.
of like I want to know more about them. I want to learn more about whatever it is, right?
Yeah. And like I would assume that there's certain astrological signs that pair with other ones or complement other ones.
Oh, 100%. It all comes down to balance, I guess, right? Like
Yeah.
balance without restriction or overpowering.
Yeah,
So
complementary.
like exactly, like I'm not going to say Sagittarius and Aquarius would go together, but in a sense, yeah, they would. I mean, they would go better as friends than like in a relationship, because as
Okay.
friends they would be, um, they would help keep each other entertained, because
Yeah.
they're entertained by exploring, by learning, by doing things.
What about
So
Taurus
I
and Aquarius?
well, Fred and Jill.
Tell me, Annie,
Um,
should I rethink this marriage?
ooh, ooh, don't edit that out. You can't edit that out.
Oh no, no, I won't.
Um, no, it's good because Aquarius as an air sign, like I said, they're philosophers. They're constantly asking questions, constantly wanting to explore.
Yeah.
But they're also like they're not as adventurous as Sagittarius or as argumentative as Geminis. So Aquarius would go well with Taurus in the sense that Tauruses are largely what's the word I'm looking for? Like safe, I guess. Because like I
Okay.
said, Tauruses as earth signs, Tauruses like to have their space. They like to have not like their space, like a distance from people, but spaces in like
A
their kind of
home.
like comfort zone. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They like that kind of like stability, that kind of surrounding, that kind of comfort. So it's good for an Aquarius to have that to ground them.
Okay.
And at the same time, the Aquarius will keep the Taurus from blocking themselves in.
Okay.
So, and also Taurus, as stubborn as you are, and Aquarius being an air sign driven by logic and reason, you guys have somebody to argue with.
Nice.
You
Nice.
give each other somebody to argue with.
I love arguing so much.
I know you do.
Like it's sport for me.
Oh, I'm aware. Again,
Like
we've known each other for 4 years.
yeah. It doesn't come from like a place of like ignorance. I just enjoy
No,
debate, I'll call it.
that's what you'll call it.
Yeah, I like challenging other people's
Friendly debate.
ideas. Yeah. I like challenging people's ideas and having my ideals challenged as well.
Yeah,
But it has gotten me in trouble a couple of times,
once or twice.
especially with Jill.
Dumbass.
Oh yeah, I am.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, that, it's gotten you in trouble with Jill, but y'all are still together.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, because she, I'm not saying that she enjoys it every single time, but I know she likes to argue too.
Oh yeah.
I
For
know the
fun,
lady.
for fun. Like that's what I want to
Yeah.
stress that we're not
Yes,
an
yes. You're not
argumentative
no, you're not
couple.
picking fights, you're not
Yeah,
you know, causing shit to cause shit. No, it's
it's for
fun.
yeah,
It's like exercise.
yeah, it's for entertainment and sport.
Yeah.
That's definitely how I see it, and I've definitely met people who do not see it that way.
That's just different personality traits. That's different, a Pisces wouldn't do that.
Okay.
A Pisces wouldn't argue for fun. That's
Would a
not
Taurus do that?
argue for fun.
Yeah,
100%.
really.
Yeah, you're stubborn and you're like the workhorse of astrology. So you
The
find something that you're
workhorse.
passionate about and you work for it like no tomorrow.
Hmm.
And you are passionate about knowledge in general. You like to learn, you like to be knowledgeable on things, and one of the ways that you do that is arguing,
Oh yeah,
debate,
yeah.
debating.
I used to. I remember when I was young, like well, younger than I am now. Like when I was in high school, I mean.
Yeah.
But I used to like frame it as like nobody's more honest than when they're pissed off. So if you piss them off, you'll get the most honest information out of them in an argument. So I used to be really
Sorry, and who were you calling a sociopath?
yeah. That's how I used to excuse it because I used to like intentionally piss people off in the middle of like an argument or a debate because I don't know. That's how I saw it then. It was just like, oh, the more angry they are, the more they're going to just like talk from the top of their head and not really think it through and just tell me their honest beliefs and like what they know.
I feel
But
so bad for your mom.
uh, she's a nice lady.
She's a wonderful lady. Hi, Michelle.
Oh, yeah. Hi, mom.
Shout out, mom.
That's what I mean. That could be an interesting too. What are like parent child relations like between the signs? Like, could a Taurus be raised by a Gemini?
Um, I mean, again, yeah, it gives you somebody to argue with.
Okay.
It works, right? Like because Gemini and Aquarius are both air signs, but where Aquarius will argue to learn things, Gemini will argue to be right. um,
I love you, mom, but that's very accurate.
and
Absolutely.
it doesn't come from a place of aggression. It just comes from a place of I'm right, and I know that
Yeah.
I'm right, and this is me being right, and they're not, and them arguing to be right isn't always clear cut. Like it's not always just like you're wrong because
Yeah.
Who was another Gemini? Jenna.
Oh, really? I didn't know she was a Gemini.
Yep, shout out Jenna.
Do you know our entire college group's astrological signs?
Yes.
Oh, great. Is there any other Tauruses?
No.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
Just you.
Jenna the
Oh
Gemini.
wait, no, I lied. No, I lied.
Oh,
There is another one. There's one at the end of April. Frick. Dila, Hans, and Brandon are all in April. Oh, Brandon maybe?
Brandon? I mean, he definitely fits. He kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Brandon.
Hmm. Okay, but moving on. Jenna,
Yeah,
Gemini.
so Jenna, so Jenna's a Gemini, and she will argue to be right, but she won't like fight you. So
Yeah.
like in terms of like, so remember, I guess I can tell you to remember, but for your listeners, when we were in college, if there's ever a question about homework or assignment or performance date or whatever, anything to do with school, the question usually kind of fell to Jenna and I because we were, we had highlighters and day planners and we were that kid.
Yo, I was lucky to even bring a book to school just to write
You
in.
stopped bringing your notebook after first term. Don't lie
I
to
know.
your audience.
No, in fourth term, I brought my tablet with a keypad to take notes, but that was only for one class.
You also didn't take notes.
Yeah, I did. They're still on my
You
tablet,
played
actually.
games.
No, they're still on my tablet.
You
No.
played the monkey tower balloon battle game.
No.
And you took pictures of Hans sleeping.
I still have that picture.
I know you do. It's on Senecast.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But so any questions about school would fall to Jenna and I.
Yeah.
So if somebody were to say, what homework do we need to have ready for dialect
What's due tomorrow? And
Yeah,
that question was asked so frequently. What's due tomorrow?
That was Hans Keegan at like 1:30 in the morning. Hey guys, what's due today?
Yeah.
Somebody would say, what's due for dialects tomorrow? And I would say, oh, we're supposed to have the entire monologue translated to IPA.
Yeah.
But if I was wrong, because I would just say that trying to remember.
Yeah.
And I would just answer it. If I was wrong and Jenna knew that I was wrong and she knew that she knew the answer, she would say, is it? Because I'm pretty sure we're supposed to have it ready in RP.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I definitely see that.
That's her Gemini arguing coming out, right?
Yeah, she doesn't really argue in terms of like, no, actually, she argues in terms of like, well, I thought, and
well,
like,
actually,
yeah.
And Jenna, if you're listening, girl, I love you. I'm not taking shots at you. I called myself a 3-year-old earlier. But that's just that's a Gemini trait, right?
That's like a Gemini trait.
Yeah. There are so many Geminis in our class. And so to put a contrast on it, right? Another Gemini, Drake.
Drake's a Gemini?
Yep, Drake, I am fully taking shots at you here. Because I've said this to him, so it's fine.
Okay.
But so that's the way Jenna argues. Drake, however, if we're having a conversation and I say something that he doesn't think is right,
he makes fun of you. He turns it into a joke.
No. Well, later he does.
Okay.
But he will. This is my favorite thing with Drake.
Okay.
When you're in a conversation with him and he says something and you say something that he knows is wrong, he goes quiet because he's a very talkative kid, but he'll go quiet if he knows you're wrong and he'll pull out his phone. And so you think, oh, Drake lost interest in the conversation.
He's just
given up.
Googling it.
He's Googling things. He's looking things up. He's finding videos. He's finding articles so that an hour later he can say, oh, you remember what you said? He's got a full essay written of why you're wrong.
That's hilarious. That's what I mean. Like I notice he definitely like pokes fun at you if you're wrong.
100%. But that's what I'm saying. So Geminis argue in different ways, but they argue still.
Yeah.
So a Gemini raising a Taurus, it would actually kind of strengthen the Taurus a bit because a Gemini would challenge the Taurus, and the Taurus, rather than say like an Aries who would just blow up and scream and cry, or a Cancer who would internalize it. If a Gemini challenges their child Taurus, the Taurus will be like, okay, I see your challenge and I'm going to win next time. Like they take it and they go and they grow from it as a challenge.
Yeah. So what you're saying is I'm an asshole Because my mom's a Gemini.
I'm saying you were born with the ability to be an asshole, and through nurture, you became a fully formed, bloomed asshole.
Through nurture.
You bloomed into a beautiful asshole.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Whereas, so like in my house, my mom's a Capricorn and I'm a Sagittarius.
A Leonardo DiCaprio son.
My mother is a DiCaprio son.
Yeah.
And my brother's a Leo, funny enough. So my brother and I are both fire signs, and my mom is an earth sign.
Okay.
But and so as a difference from Capricorn and Taurus, Taurus as an earth sign, they're very hardworking. They're very dedicated. They will work hard. They will work harder than anybody else, but they won't necessarily pay attention to detail. They will
Nice.
just keep grinding.
Okay.
Yeah. Capricorns, however, will work hard, but they'll be meticulous. They'll be nitpicky. And then rather than being stubborn like Taurus, they're more controlling, kind of.
Okay.
So they're still just as hard headed, but in a different way. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my brother and I, fire signs, driven by passion, don't really think a lot, just kind of do shit. With a Capricorn, detail oriented mother, was kind of explosive sometimes because
Nice.
she would be upset about little things that my brother and I had no interest in because they were little things and we're fire signs, so we're doing a million things at once.
Okay.
So you'd get that kind of a butting heads. But then it was also good in the sense that like my mom really did raise us with a good sense of grounding, which is good for fire signs to have that sense of like grounding yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise you're just blowing up doing dumb shit everywhere. And then you're Logan and Jake Paul. I don't actually know their star signs, but I imagine they're some kind of a fire sign somewhere.
Oh, I want to fact check this and just like,
See if I'm wrong.
yeah, just to see how
Either
accurate this stuff can
okay,
be.
okay. Let me give you exact signs.
Okay.
So Jake Paul,
Okay.
I think is. Can I say 2?
Are you looking it up right now?
I'm not. I'm not at all. I swear to God.
Okay, go for it. I'm going to look it up right now.
What's
You're
what's
doing
your word? What's your word? Drywall? Is that your word?
drywall. Drywall.
There you go. Yeah, that was you.
Yeah. Drywall, for people who don't know, is a safe word in our friend group to like basically let everyone know you're in no way bullshitting, you're in no way memeing. You go, hey, drywall, and then say something. We trust that you're being
So
serious.
see, we had to come up with a word to trust that you're being serious because everybody in our group is an asshole
Yeah.
and we lie all the time.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna say 2.
I have his star sign right here. So
Okay.
give your 2 and then reasonings, and then I'll tell you what it is.
Okay. Jake Paul, I think, is either so he's a fire sign, but he's not. I would say either a fire sign, but he's not cocky. So he's not a Leo. He's also not argumentative, so he's not an Aries. So I want to say he's either a Sagittarius or he's got the work ethic, but he's not smart about it. So, hmm,
Hmm.
Sagittarius or you know what? Let's left field it. Libra.
Okay. And what would make him a Libra? 'Cause we haven't spoken about that one
We
over
haven't
the.
talked a lot about Libras. No, this is Simon.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Um, hi Simon.
You're just saying a bunch
Uh,
of arbitrary names to people who don't know us, and I think it's just funny.
yeah, it's true. Every name that I've said, okay, for Fred's listeners, every name that I've said up until now is just people we went to college with.
Yeah.
Um, so Libras are air signs,
Hmm.
um, but they don't get involved in confrontation. So that's why I would say it for Jake Paul,
Okay.
because every time there's been a scandal, a confrontation, whatever, he doesn't involve himself in it. He'll make a response to it, obviously, because he has to. It's his job.
Okay.
But he's not, Trisha paid us. He doesn't fire back. He just
Okay.
says, "Yep, this is going on. We're done. Next video." Um, but he's also smart enough to have turned himself into this sensation with no discernible talent whatsoever. So Libras would be smart enough to do that. Libras they're very, so air signs, like I said, they're driven by logic, they're driven by reason. So Aquarius, it's more learning things, acquiring knowledge. Geminis, it's more, I don't want to say superiority, but it's more like knowing things to be right, or knowing things to have, like, to be
Yeah.
useful. Libras, they want to know things to know, like practical knowledge, like how to do
Okay.
things.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So with Jake Paul, I'll let you know both your guesses were wrong,
Dang.
but I'll tell you what it is, and then you can tell me if it makes sense. So
Okay.
Jake Paul is a
Yeah.
Capricorn.
See, I didn't think he was smart.
Okay.
I was close with Sagittarius, though. That's the next sign.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess, like, again, I'm saying this not knowing him as a person.
Yeah.
I just know
You just
him
know
on
his
the internet.
internet personality.
Exactly. I mean, it makes sense in the sense that, he's made himself wildly famous with no discernible talent whatsoever, and that takes a lot of work ethic, which Capricorns have because they're Earth signs. So they're
Hmm.
hardworking, they're dedicated. Um, I guess, you know, um, curating a YouTube channel, you do need to be detail oriented. You do need to
Yeah.
have that sense of, like, being very meticulous, being very particular in the way that you do things.
Hmm.
Um, it doesn't make sense in the sense that his friend group is constantly changing, so he doesn't have that security, that boundary,
Hmm.
that sort of comfort space that Earth signs are known to create.
Okay.
But at the same time, that could have to do with his moon sign, which is his emotions, right? That could also have to do with um, his Venus, how he deals with his love and relationships,
Okay. Do you want to
which is not
guess?
a
Do you want to guess Logan Paul?
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I
Oh
just looked
gosh,
it
so
up. I know
he's
what it is.
you know what it is. All
Yeah, I
right,
just looked it up.
Logan Paul is either, I want to say he's a Gemini, because
Okay.
and this is not a shot at the half people in our class that were Geminis, or at any other Gemini out there. I'm just saying it's a thing. Because he's manipulative as shit.
That's a Gemini thing.
Yes. Um, so Geminis have a stereotype of being two-faced,
Okay.
and that stereotype is generated by the fact that they can um, walk into a room, read the room, and decide how to react, decide how
Okay.
to carry themselves. They morph themselves to the social situation.
They are sociopaths.
Stop trying to call everybody else sociopaths just because you don't want to be called a sociopath.
All right. Do you have a second guess, or are you going to stick with Gemini?
Um, I'm gonna say Gemini, or because Jake Paul threw me, so there's got to be something about Logan I don't know. So
Okay.
I think he could be something freaky, like like a Cancer. Like, there could
Oh,
be some heavy kind of emotion there that makes him do all this dumb stuff that he just doesn't know how to deal with. Well,
okay.
not a Cancer, no, because they're rounded. Cancers are rounded.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay.
Scorpio, Gemini or Scorpio,
Gemini or Scorpio? Is that your final answer?
locking it in.
Okay. You're both. They're both wrong.
Frick.
Logan Paul is an Aries.
Oh,
Yeah. Explain that.
so Aries are fire signs. Um, so to put it into perspective, fire signs are driven by passion.
Okay.
So a passionate, something people do out of passion is fighting, like full on fighting.
Alrighty.
So to explain them, Sagittarius will fight because it's fun.
Nice.
Yeah. A Leo will fight because they're very proud, and
Okay.
losing would be shameful.
Okay.
So they'll fight you. An Aries will fight because they fight everything and everyone. They just like to fight.
Nice.
It's so Aries are cardinal signs, and that's what we talked about earlier:
Yeah.
cardinal, mutable, and fixed. The
Yeah.
cardinal is they are rounded in their element.
So they
So
are.
Aries
Yeah.
is, yeah, Aries is a rounded fire sign.
Okay.
But that also means that they have the strongest sense of being a fire sign. They're not that they're necessarily the most committed to being a fire sign. That's the Leos.
Well, I mean, didn't Logan actually just like orchestrate a boxing match like twice?
Yeah.
So like he clearly likes to fight.
Yeah, indeed. That's
Yeah.
the thing. But
Yeah.
so he's the most rounded in being a fire sign, which could be where his manipulative comes from, because
Yeah.
that's a war tactic.
Okay.
So it's he's got this sense of passion, this sense of aggression, and I'm sure in his relationships a real heavy sense of like passion and lust, um, and he just uses it.
Okay.
And again, I would need to know more about him. Like I would need to know like his moon sign and his rising.
Okay. Well, actually, I looked that up too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, his woman. I had it right here. Oh, well, so his sun is in Aries.
Uh-huh.
His moon is also in Aries, and his rising is a Capricorn.
Okay. So that's hilarious. Wow, he's just an asshole.
Proven.
Right? Um,
This is what I'm this is what should have been on the documentary about him at Shane
right?
Dawson.
Geez, Shane Dawson, where's your astrological coverage?
Yeah.
Hire me, even though I'm wrong all the time. um, okay, so his Aries moon means that whatever he's feeling, he is feeling it to the nth degree. He feels it so hard.
Okay.
It's so like if he's mad, he's mad. So if he's mad, he's gonna go on the internet and challenge KSI to a fight.
Yeah.
If he's sad, he'll make a whole documentary about him apologizing for the suicide forest thing and have a camera film him crying.
Okay.
Like he'll like whatever he's feeling, like he feels it to the absolute max. And so his rising is a Capricorn, which explains. Did you look up Jake Paul's rising?
No, I did not. I only looked up
Dang it.
Jake's son.
Okay. Um, I mean, depending on what Jake's rising is, that could explain why Logan's not as manic as Jake. Because like Logan, like he's a psycho, but he's not as manic as Jake. Jake is a manic
Okay.
weirdo. But so okay, so I didn't even explain what rising signs are. So rising signs is so your sun is you basic overall personality. Your moon is who you are privately, your thoughts, your inside when you're
Yeah.
alone. Your rising is how you present yourself and how other people perceive you.
Okay.
So presenting as a Capricorn means that he presents as a hard worker. He wants people to, he likes to be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
If he's in a group, he's the one in charge. Um, if they're like if he and his friends are doing something, he's planning everything.
Okay.
Um,
Who's the Capricorn in our group again?
Capricorn in our group, we don't have one.
Oh.
It's my mom. My
Okay.
mom's a Capricorn. The closest. Oh, I don't know if I should say this.
Oh.
Well, you can edit it out if it's unsafe. But the closest thing we have, the person who's the closest to being a Capricorn in our group
Here we go.
is Beth.
Oh no. Why
And
would you
she's a
say that?
Sagittarius. I'm just saying you can edit it out if you want.
Okay. No, I get that though.
Yeah. Needing to be in control, detail oriented. Yeah.
Okay. Still some good qualities in that though.
Yeah, definitely. There's and that's just it. Every sign has good and bad qualities. Every sign has their stereotypes.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah.
You have anything else to talk about? Anything else you want to explain or any interesting tidbits you might have? While I look up my Astro chart.
Fred once called my mom a motherfucker.
Oh, wow, okay. I did.
You did.
I did. but with love. It was, yeah.
Can you do that? Is that possible?
Oh, I just did.
Well, you didn't just do it. This was like 3 years ago. Just call me a bitch.
I think I did.
With love?
With love.
Okay. Better be.
All
I'll
right.
come to Sudbury and fight you.
Alrighty. Oh, I put my birthplace in. Wow, they do ask. The birthplace is important.
Yep. Because it's the stars. The stars are not in position.
All right, I'm submitting it. Oh, is it not going to tell me? Oh, do I have to? Oh, never mind. Got this. My sun is a Taurus.
Yeah.
My moon is a Cancer.
Okay.
Okay. And my rising is also a Taurus.
That don't make no sense.
No?
You don't present as a Taurus, you dumbass.
Well, according to this chart, I do. So are you right or is the chart right?
I'm right. I'm always right, even though I was wrong every time before.
Yeah, my sun sign is a Taurus, my rising sign is a Taurus, and my moon sign is a Cancer.
Cancer's a good moon to have.
Okay.
Because it's really it's a really rounded water sign. You're really round. You have your emotions. You know how they feel. You don't necessarily know how to get through them,
Okay.
but you know how to help yourself when shit's going on. Like if you're in a bad mood, if you had a really bad day, if you're sad, if you're angry,
Okay.
you know what support you need. You know how to support yourself. You also connect really well to this because this is your moon, right? So this is you with thoughts and emotions.
Okay. I'd say it's
You can connect.
kind of accurate. I wouldn't say completely accurate.
The Taurus rising don't make no sense.
Oh, okay.
Keep that to myself.
Well, that's what I mean. Like ascending means rising, right?
Yes.
Because there's ascending 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down to 12. It says like
what chart are you doing?
I don't know. It says Placidus.
Here, let me do the one that I use.
Yeah. Yeah, it says that because then it also says that my second rising is Gemini.
That I believe you, manipulative son of a bitch.
Oh no, I'm not manipulative. I just come off as manipulative.
Yeah, actually, that's accurate.
Ah.
What year were you born again?
97.
Baby child. What time?
6:10 a.m.
You're the first boy that I've ever met that actually knows what time he was born and didn't have to text his mom. Were you born in Timmins?
Yes.
Cool.
Of course I was.
In Timmins.
In Timmins. All right, let's see if a different website has different facts.
Hang on, I'm doing the one that you normally use.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Taurus, Cancer, Taurus.
Okay. So do you call bullshit, or do you got to swear by it now? You call bullshit.
Yeah. Mercury. What's Mercury? Hang on.
Oh, great. This is now a research podcast. Where we?
You know what?
What?
It absolutely is.
What's Mercury? While you're looking it up, what does my Mercury sign have to do with anything?
Mercury determines how you communicate, talk, think, and process information. So it's communication and
oh, I had that on this chart too.
Yeah, your Mercury is Aries.
From what little you've told me from this point, I'm going to just say that's accurate.
The website that I'm using, let me just read to you what it says because I cannot say it better myself.
Oh, okay.
Very quick-witted, you are known for being an independent thinker. You love to debate and argue and are excellent at repartee and battles of wits. At times, however, you act too fast on hastily formed opinions and thus waste a lot of energy defending your rash and sometimes incorrect conclusions. It is perfectly acceptable for you to defend your beliefs with your usual vigor, but try not to take the opinions of others as personal insults.
Okay. Wait,
Could not have said that better myself.
the opinions of others as personal insults, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah?
If somebody tells you that you're wrong and they explain to you what, like,
Oh, yeah.
if you
Yeah.
get into an argument with Drake and Drake explains why you're wrong, you take it as an insult.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, if
Yeah.
Drake were to ever do that fucking I'm gonna Google it in front of you and you're wrong bullshit to me, oh. Yeah,
I'll make it happen now.
that would piss me off. That would, and Drake has this thing too. Like, I'm obsessed with this video game series called Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Drake knows nothing about it, hasn't played them, but he Googled like the worst reviewed game in the series, and he will come up to me all the time and tell me, "Oh, this is the best one in the series." And I'm like, "No, Drake, it's not." And he's like, "Oh, it's my personal favorite." And I'm like, "Drake, it's not a good
He's
game."
Such an asshole.
He does it all the time.
I love him.
Oh.
God, I miss him. He's great.
All right. Well, that is the end of this episode. Thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, that's the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening, and yeah, bye-bye.